It's Tracy time. Time for another moment with me, Tracy T. It's a marvelous Monday. How are you doing today? Listen, I hope first off that you had the most amazing weekend. I cannot tell y'all. It was a blur. I have action packed. I have said this to you and to others that the weekend, if you are working for your own invested interest, the weekend is 2 more days that you get to do just that, to make an investment in yourself. So I hope that you had a fantastic weekend. Saturday was super. Sunday, I had a moment of Sabbath. My pastor would be proud. And yesterday was Pastor Appreciation Day. So we took a moment to make sure that we acknowledge the phenomenal pastoral staff that we have and the team of pastors that have blessed Freedom's Chapel. So I'm grateful to my pastor, Reverend Dr. Rosalind Regina Nichols, and Reverend Lloyd Stovall, Reverend Ayana Watkins, and Reverend Floridia, we have a group of wonderfully talented and gifted people who love the Lord. So I'm grateful for that. Hey V, how you doing? What are you eating for lunch today, V? And how are you feeling today? Happy Monday to you. Listen, I'm going to talk about 3 things today. I'm doing 3 things in 30 minutes today. First, let me start by saying that I am going to have a guest on Wednesday and on Friday this week. We're having a twofer this week. I'm getting it in. You know, this is an election season. You know, we have information to share, and I still want to support Black businesses. So I'm telling you that you need to put your seatbelts on and be ready to roll with me, because I am going to go all in. We're going to ride this thing until the wheels fall off, right? So listen, Wednesday, I'm having Cheryl Piggy's Creek with me, who is the founder of One Sister Girl Can, and I am looking forward to having a conversation with her to learn all about One Sister Girl Can and what she is doing with that organization. So join me on Wednesday to learn more about that. And of course, you know we're going to talk about politics, because Wednesday is early voting day in Shelby County, Tennessee. I, along with my beloved wife Chandra, are going to be voting early, and I may go live, not on this page, just on my own personal page. I may do it here too. But I'm going to go live and talk about that on Wednesday, because it's the first day of early voting. We will be up and at 'em. So today we're talking about 3 things. I'm going to talk 3 things in 30 minutes. I'm going to talk about coming out, because coming out, the National Coming Out Day was over the weekend. I'm going to talk about the foolishness that is the continued or resumed COVID lies campaign that Trump is doing. His COVID denial tour is what I'll call it. And then we're going to talk about this absolute disrespect that is happening with the Supreme Court nomination process. All right. So first things first. This weekend was National Coming Out weekend. It was National Coming Out Day. Is October 11th. National Coming Out Day is important to me as a short, fat, Black, gay woman. I am proud. I came out forever ago, and it wasn't an easy feat, but I can tell you this, that I know that in order for me to inspire other people who are looking like me, living like me, to be in a place where they can somehow, hopefully someday, assume and live in their authenticity, that I have to live in mine. So I have unapologetically taken on the position of being out and proud. I am, Chandra and I have been together for 26 years. We got married last year. I'm grateful. I'm delighted. I'm happy. We've been in a faithful, monogamous relationship for that long. I came out to my friends and family years ago. I don't feel like I need to come out to you. Who you sleep with is none of my business. Who I sleep with is none of your business, but it's bigger than that. It's about letting the world know that this default that we claim we have should not just be set to a standard that certain people are supposed to achieve, and if they don't, then they're not counted. So I'm saying that about the coming out, and people have a hard times. You want to talk about, I had a conversation this morning with someone and said, you should just be able to be yourself, and you should just be free, like it shouldn't matter. No, you know what, it shouldn't. But you know what also shouldn't matter? The color of my skin shouldn't matter. The fact that I'm Black should not matter, but it does. And the reality is that you already have a certain number of strikes against you if you look a certain way, if you live a certain way, and if you love a certain way that doesn't meet the default. The reality is that while we want to believe in many cases that we can live and be authentic and be free, that people are judgmental, and people do automatically assume things about you by the way that you look, by the way that you live, and by the way that you love. So, if nothing else, let me serve as a myth buster for you, and to let everyone know that there was a time when what other people thought and how they felt about me and the relationship that I have and the love that I share with my wife was an issue for them. I have no concern for that now. I can't put any fuel in your tank for mine. Okay, what I can do is let you know that you matter to me, your existence matters to me, you are important to me, but I don't need you to validate me. Okay, because I'm not getting parking, and that's the only time I need validation. Okay, hello, somebody. The only time that you need to be validated is if you need parking. Otherwise, stand firm and be affirmed in your own self, in your own authenticity. I want to say that aloud because there's so many people of color, and not just black people. I'm saying this because Michael and Easter Thomas and I have had this conversation too, where I said woman of color, and she said I'm black. Well, I am black, but right now I am saying that not just black people, not just a black woman like me, but people of color. That means no matter if you don't fit the default as white and you are a person of color, if you have any hue or pigmentation or melanin in your skin, you are a person of color no matter the nationality. I am a black American woman. I am a woman of color. I am saying that it is a challenge for people of color, period. And it is also a challenge of people, D, I see you, silly. There is also a challenge for people that are always ostracized anyway for their color, then to add the fact that they are in a same-sex relationship or binary or whatever other type of relationship that doesn't fit the default, then they are also included. So I want to serve in living my truth and saying it out loud, that hopefully it will shine a light and light up a path for someone else to be in a position where they will own their own authenticity and live in it, moreover, and know that they have the liberty to do that. It's important. D, you are so silly. Hey, I love you. I'm so glad you're here today. So that's all I got to say about coming out. People have to make their own choice about it. It is not easy. You know that there are, gosh, so many people that are quote unquote celebrities of every level, right? We have a full spectrum of celebrities. And take note of this. There are a lot more celebrities that are not black or people of color that are out, that are living out and having successfully achieved out status than there are black and people of color. Take a look at that, because what happens in the black community is different than what happens in non-black and non-color people of color communities with regards to being gay. I'm telling you what I know. We can have a whole nother conversation about that if you want to. Just let me know. I'll be ready. But now, that's what I got to say about that. So happy National Coming Out Day to any of the viewers and to all of the people who had the brave, absolute daring greatly that they wanted to take that step and come out, and they chose to do it either this on October 11th or they chose to do it any other day of the year. It is a challenge. It is not easy. It takes strength. It takes bravery, and it takes you being authentic. So bravo to you and to all of my brothers and sisters in the LGBTQ plus community. Now, what I am not proud of at all is the fact that we Americans have this nut as a president. Whew, just saying that out loud did something to me, y'all. Oh, how? Okay, let's just have a moment. Let's just take this time together and say this. I can't almost get it out. Okay, the occupant. I'll say the occupant because I used the P word once and it almost did me in. The occupant. What the heck y'all. What the 2020 is happening with this man? Does anybody have an answer for me? I need for somebody to tell me what in the 2020 is Trump doing. This man has everybody on some kind of roller coaster ride. Like, are you kidding me with this? This man, okay, let's go back. First, he said he had COVID. Now, no, let's go all the way back. First, he didn't say he had it. It was leaked that he had it because Hope Hicks had it. Okay, nobody's checked on Hope Hicks. How's Hope Hicks doing? Anybody know? Has anybody heard from Hope Hicks? Anybody? Hello? Anybody heard from Hope Hicks? Y'all tell me, is she doing okay? She was the one that had the symptoms. She was the one that was so sick. Remember, Bloomberg released it. Has anybody circled back to check in on Hope Hicks? Do we know anything about her? Now, here's another person we don't know anything about. Melania Trump. Has anybody heard anything else from Melania Trump? Any more tweets about how well she's doing and how expected, she's expected to have this fantastic recovery and she's doing okay and she's accepting prayers and she's so grateful. Anybody heard anything about it? Huh? Anybody? D, what you say? Wait a minute. We have to vote better. I have no idea how we got the occupant. I'm gonna tell you, D. Here's how we got the occupant. You want to know how we got the occupant? I'm glad you asked. Here's how we got the occupant. Because 100,000 people who were eligible to vote and registered to vote last election did not. How have we become so apathetic that we literally will rest on our laurels and think that it's somebody else's job, it's your job, it's their job? It's our job. This is our country. This clown should not be in office, period. I wouldn't want him to be the head over the dang on vector control, let alone got the button for the nuclear. Come on, y'all, really? Okay. The fact that we're even sitting here having a conversation about him being in a continued state of occupancy is also just the most ridiculous thing any human being could ever even say. The fact that we have to have a conversation about who is the leader of the free world, the occupant that lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, talking about wearing a mask or not, talking about whether he's COVID-19 positive or not, talking about whether he said or didn't say that we should ingest disinfectants and bleach. What? Okay. So I need y'all to help me. Because we're going to follow this trail. D, you say still don't think he has, but lies so much that they would want to believe it. There's an influx of young voters, okay, this time, that's helping register my city. Praise God. D, I'm grateful to hear that. Thank you, Washington State. Thank you, young adults in Washington State. Whew, some hope, y'all. We need it. So listen. Bloomberg leaked that Hope Hicks had COVID. That set the first domino in place. Now, we had a whole conversation about whether we thought it was real or not. I think we've all flushed out now that we believe that he did not have COVID. However, if he did have COVID, he's lying. Either way, I think he's lying. Because he's the liar in chief, I think that he's lying. I'm going to tell you why I think he's lying. I think he's lying because, one, if he had COVID, when did you get it? How long have you had it? This med-vac and emergency circumstances and these 3 drug treatment plan that you got, it was like a miracle cure and it didn't include hydrochloroquine? Really? The same medicine he was telling everybody that he strongly endorsed it was for malaria. He strongly endorsed that it was very, very good. Yeah, but you didn't take it. That's not part of what was in your drugs, triple. You got a triple dose of stuff, and allegedly. Now, here's a better question, y'all. If he does not have it now, when did he last test negative for it? Can anybody tell me that? Because I don't think we've yet seen, much in the way that it works with his whole taxes, he hasn't produced any evidence that says he's tested negative. He will not answer the question to save our lives, literally, that when did you get a last negative test? We don't know. We don't know that he was tested before the debate. We don't know that he was tested before the Rose Garden nomination experience. We don't know anything about what this man is doing. But what we do know is what we've been shown, and what we've been shown is tomfoolery. Now, what tomfoolery have we been shown? Okay, let me tell you. Yes, he is the devil, sweetie. What we've been shown is this. The man claimed he had coronavirus. He was at the White House and waited an hour when he had a helicopter, Marine One, waiting to take him, transport him to under medvac to the hospital, the Warren Reed. Okay, so we know. Oh, he gets there. A couple of days after he's there, he gets in a dang on vehicle to go and wave at people. Now, you guys may not know anybody that's had COVID, okay? And we know the symptoms are different for every person. However, GID, don't insult the devil, okay? Come on through, D. What? All right. We know that if he did have coronavirus, much in the way that these other Americans, some 210,000 plus American citizens that have died from COVID, they were not in a position to get in a vehicle or go anywhere. Hello? Who was driving around? My cousin that died, rest in peace, Edward Rowe, couldn't drive around. He was on a ventilator till he died. So it's insulting at best if you say that you are in a position and you shouldn't take it, don't worry about it, you should learn to live with it. Well, 210,000 plus people could not live with coronavirus. Ooh, that just gets all over me. Ooh, come on, D. I'm glad you got time. You know, I love it when you join live at lunch. I am absolutely infuriated by the idea that if he did not have this virus, that he's faking it, y'all. That is sickening, to literally take the lives and that have been lost, that have been affected and impacted by this deadly virus, and make a mockery of it. That is inappropriate. Okay? If he's lying about it, that is just so vile. So now let's say he had it. If he has it, it's not just gone now because he said poof, the magic dragon. This is not puff puff. That's not what he's doing. It's not. That's not it. So if you think the man really did have the virus, he never told us when he got it. So we don't know what the window is. And you know what they say now about shedding the virus? They shed the virus. He's still shedding the virus. So now your doctors come out, who, by the way, gave us some information that wasn't really accurate, and now has said, yeah, I erred on the side of making his prognosis better than it was. I fluffed it up a little bit. You lied. No fluff. You a dang on doctor for the president of the United States. You can't fluff. There's no embellishment. We don't need flowers. We don't need baby's breaths on a bouquet. That's fluff. Ooh, thank you, Derek. Hey, it's not a commander, you're a criminal. That's exactly right. A COVID denial tour by the criminal in chief. That's what we got. This foolery is continuing. Derek, I'm gonna read your whole comment in just a second. Let me just get this out because y'all know this here, it takes me to another level because I cannot believe the American citizens are falling for this crap. This man has literally, when he came out with this whole COVID stuff, I told y'all the person had posted in September that he was going to have an October surprise. That's happened. And now he's saying he doesn't have it. His doctor's saying he's cleared to travel. He's free to go, free to roam about. Okay, if the man does have coronavirus, y'all know that he probably, just like Amy Coney Barrett, she was probably patient zero. She was probably the one that created the super spreader, okay? She was probably the one that put us all in a position where we literally have the entire country going backwards. We're regressing because people are coming up with all this foolishness. We can't do this. Do y'all know we're getting ready to go into flu season? It's about to be cold. Does anybody know that it's October and we're getting ready to ease right into from fall to winter? Does anybody know that the flu season is a time when we already lose like hundreds of thousands of people? Okay. All right. if he does have coronavirus, the event that he had at the White House Saturday was criminal, because you are literally putting these people, dumb ass folks, at risk. Even though they signed up and said, oh, I want to die for you. I'll die for you, 45. Just to be seen. Just to be connected to you. They are part of a legion. The dumb legion. The dummies. But he knows. He did this, this a whole what was he doing? Was it what the people said he was doing? A video? What was he doing in the balcony? I mean, it's a whole theatrics. The man thinks he's on a reality show called The White House. Do y'all know that? Does anybody know that? For real. This man is literally focused on ratings. He's focused on likes on his Twitter account. It's pathetic. And I said, and I'll say it again, he does not have sense enough to be ashamed. But shame on you if you are in a position where you can vote and you don't. Shame on you. Okay, Derek, what you say? Hey, Tracy, may love the background. Thank you. That fool did not, he didn't have it. He couldn't have it. Okay, if I had it, yes, I know, Derek, and it's not a speedy recovery. Exactly. See, okay, thank you. Thank you, Derek. Let me say this to your point. You had it. The symptoms came. You were textbook symptoms, right? You had textbook symptoms. You did not have a speedy recovery. You are not in a position where you can, even now, weeks after you've recovered from it and tested negative, you still have to be careful. You still know that you have been exposed, so you have to handle yourself with great care. You still, last I talked to you, you were still not at the same energy level. This man is so full of baloney. Okay, so full of baloney. I talked to someone else that I know that is near and dear to me that has tested positive for COVID and cannot test negative for COVID. It's been weeks, got retested and cannot test negative for COVID. Still has it. Long after the 14 to 20-day window. This is not a stomach virus. See what you say? He's holding 3 rallies this week, right? And the people are going. They were there on Saturday. What the heckle, Jekyll and Hyde? Y'all, 2020 is a bad word now. What the 2020 is wrong with these folks? What else you say then? Knowing. Do you know? Okay, if I have to go to a place where I have to sign an NDA and I have to sign a waiver saying I'm not going to sue you because I might end up like Herman Cain, I don't want to be there. And then people acting like the whole Herman Cain thing didn't exist. Black people, white people, Asian people, Hispanic people. Herman Cain was at a Trump rally, loud and proud with his black voices for Trump sign, and that man is dead. We don't have to wonder. He just going from one super spreader to another super spreader. He may be dang on patient 0. Huh. Okay. I did what you say, your last thought. And then you're going to sit down and drink your coffee, sip. I had my coffee. Yay. Amy Barrett should really decline the nomination. You are segueing me perfectly for these last few minutes. Not only is it tacky, and I'm going to add as 2020, but speaks to her judgment. Also makes her look like the thirstiest judge in America. You have segued me perfectly, D, because that's my final and last topic for this time with you today on Live at Lunch. How in the 2020 are you in a position where you know you are the antithesis of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and you have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to stand at the Rose Garden at the White House like you are deserving of this position? How dare you? Negative, wrong, false, faux, and N to the O. You are she is absolutely thirsty, parched. Completely Sahara thirst, okay? Yes, D, you are right. She should have, if she was a decent human being. You shouldn't be. She a pawn. But you know what? That greed. People want power. They're hungry for power. Not so much money and fame as they are for power. There's a real thirst for power in this country. And when you have people who are literally in a position that are on a reality show called The White House, that has the power to put you in a position and make you the star for their segment, to use you to get to where they're trying to go, she falling for it. She, as smart as she must, she got to have some smarts to be a judge, but she dumb. And I think it's disrespectful. I'm going to be on the record and say this. I think it's disrespectful, and I think it's tacky, and I think it's lascivious for her to be in a position where less than 30 days, we haven't even, the government hasn't even had the proper acknowledgement for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Justice, they're supposed to acknowledge her. They're supposed to mourn her loss for 30 days. Have y'all seen that? Have you seen any acknowledgement of that? Have y'all seen any respect for her? No, because the occupant is a disrespectful, disgraceful, disgusting person. Air quotes, because I'm not quite sure if he's a person. Because I think he may be demonic. Fight me on that. But now here's the other thing I got to say. The nomination started today, right? The nomination started today. This is a lifetime appointment. A lifetime appointment. She is 48 years old. A lifetime appointment of someone who has aligned themselves with the liar in chief, who is going to potentially vote down Roe versus Wade and make abortion illegal in this land, who is in a position to have the authority and power. We're going to talk about why, okay, if I need to cover with you why having abortions legal in this land is something worth fighting for, you need to call me separately. Call me separately, because I don't even want to have that conversation, because call me separately if you don't think that women should have the right to have a legalized abortion. Just call me, 901-604-0302. Call me, because I'm going to tell you what I know. That's a separate private conversation you and I need to have, okay? Because I don't need any proof of that. I need to have that conversation with you just one-on-one, okay? The Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, is on the table and can literally be voted off the table, which means that countless American citizens who desperately, especially in the midst of a pandemic, rely on health care coverage. The people that had a pre-existing conditions, y'all, not some other person, some far way off place, but our family members, our friends, our neighbors have pre-existing conditions and need care. The fact that we live in a country where truly we don't have universal health care is already laughable in comparison to other countries. Really, truly is pathetic. But the fact that then added to that, we are in a pandemic state where we have a deadly virus just running rampant in our country. And we know that because of that, people who have contracted and tested positive and have lived through, been blessed to live through COVID, and on the other side of it, on the recovery side of it, end up having conditions related to the virus that then make them vulnerable and susceptible, and then are considered people to have pre-existing conditions, heart conditions, blood vascular issues, neurological issues, as a result of having coronavirus that will qualify them to have pre-existing conditions, right? If you are in a position, do I see you? If you are, hey Cammie, if you are in a position where you think it's okay, and I'm talking about her as a person now, if you, with your 7 kids and your 2 from Haiti that you know thinks makes you special because you may have saved 2 little black kids, we're not going to have a conversation about that today. If you as a person, as you as a mother, thinks that it's okay to vote down and repeal a law that will literally help hundreds of thousands of people that are supposed to be people you are in a position to take care of, to protect, to shore up. As a mother of 7, if you are in a position where you think it's okay to do that, something is wrong with you. In addition to you being the thirstiest judge in the land, we need to give her some new initials. For ACB, it needs to be another coughing blight. Because she thirsty. That's why she coughing. Because she dry. Y'all give me something else we can do for ACB. And I'm not being disrespectful to her because she's just a judge now. She's not a Supreme Court justice. But I do think what she's doing is disrespectful to the memory and to the legacy of the notorious RBG. I really do. So now let's see. Cammie, you said she's always been linked with Trump and McConnell and all this controversy. She must like it, but it's a whole bunch of people. But now, if she turns around and says something that does something that doesn't show loyalty to the occupant, you know, she'll be kicked to the curb. And then D, you said, stop comparing. Y'all need to stop comparing with demons. You had tea with demons Saturday. D. I love that. Okay, did y'all see D's comment? D, okay, that's funny. D says, y'all stop comparing Trump to demons. She had tea with demons on Saturday, and they are not claiming him. They are not claiming him. He's below. He's worse. He's under them. Okay, he... D, we need to have a conversation about you and your tea, because I don't know. Obviously, you had hot tea. Can the nominees be overturned? Cammie, no. They're lifetime appointments. There is no overturn. Once they're, because that's, okay. So that's a valid question. So let's address this real quick before we finish. The Supreme Court justices' positions are not in a position to be overturned. The nomination process that they undergo that started today for ACB, for the thirstiest. The thirstiest nominations that started today is supposed to be the vetting that is exhaustive, right? And so the idea, which is why it usually takes months, not a matter of days, but months, y'all. It usually, go back and look at your history. It usually takes months. And then if they have anything, they exhaust it to the point of ad nauseum. But here's what's happened. Go back and remember Clarence Thomas. Y'all remember Clarence Thomas and Anita Hill? That nomination, that was all part of his nomination process, which retrospectively, we could learn a lesson or two from that. Hello, somebody. That just because he was a black man, he was replacing a black man, it was not equal. Okay? Not at all. And here we have a white woman, and Trump is replacing with a white woman, and they are not equal. Okay? All right. So no, it cannot, and it's a lifetime appointment. They have to excuse themselves. Matter of fact, and y'all can check me on this and make sure what I'm saying is accurate, but I think the only judge, the only living former Supreme Court justice is Janet Reno, and I think that she stepped down. Most people that are in that position die. I mean, their attrition is usually due to death, right? I don't think, like I said, I think that's true, and I may have to check that. Y'all correct me on that if you want to fact check, because I'm not telling you it's a fact. I'm saying I don't know, but I believe that Janet Reno is the only Supreme Court justice that's ever stepped down. I think all the other Supreme Court justices died as Supreme Court justices that are active, that are sitting Supreme Court justices. I think that's true. I'll have to check my own fact on that. So yes, yeah. So it's tough. And see, here we are. It what usually takes months now, they're pushing through. And y'all do, okay, let me say this and I'm gonna wrap up. Y'all do remember that it was so short a time ago as in 2016 when there was a Supreme Court justice seat available, and Mitch McConnell's assets made sure that he pulled some stuff out, that he went and dusted something off and came up with some reason why President Barack Obama could not nominate. Do y'all remember that? Because now here it is, and it's amazing how the very same thing is happening with even less time, and yet somehow, just like magic, Just like the magic of being free from COVID after being diagnosed a week and a half ago. It's like magic. They came up with a way to get it done, and here she is sitting in the nominations vetting process. It's absolutely insane. Cammy, what'd you say? Wikipedia said there are currently 3. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Hey, Adrian. Let's see. There are currently 3 living justice. Oh, Sandra Day O'Connor. That's who I meant, not Janet Reno. Thank you. Sandra Day O'Connor, Anthony Kennedy, and James Souter. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I said Janet Reno. See, I was wrong with 2 left feet. Janet Reno was not Supreme Court Justice. I was talking about Sandra Day O'Connor. And so that is why when Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, she was the first female. She was the first female to lie in state. That's why, because Sandra Day O'Connor is still alive. Thank you, Cammy. I appreciate that. So I love to be corrected. I like to be told when I'm wrong. I was wrong. It's 2 left feet, y'all, and there are 3, not 1, not 2, but 3. All right. So D said, "All right, our main contribution to correct this train wreck is to vote. Yes." And validate plans, confirm your ballot meets the state requirements. Absolutely, please do that. And remind people to do the same. No, D, what you just said is true. And you just perfectly, it's like we plan these segues. Because on Friday, this Friday, I'm going to have with me Corey Strong, who was the former chair of the Democratic Party in Shelby County. He is joining me on Friday to talk about the Electoral College. What the heck is it? Why is it important? And that has been the chief complaint for a lot of young adult voters, to say, well, we got this Electoral College thing. It doesn't matter anyway. So we're going to talk about that on Friday. He's going to give us a fantastic, the whole wealth of information he gave to my church yesterday during our Agape Cafe session. So I'm excited about that. All right. What time is it, y'all? Okay, it's time for me to go. I promised you 30 minutes, 3 topics. We did it. We talked about coming out. I'm out. We talked about the continued COVID denial tour that the occupant on his special 4-year reality show called The White House is continuing. And we talked about the foolishness and disrespect and absolute disregard for the life and legacy of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg with this nomination process that is happening now at a rushed, fast, hectic, wrong pace for Amy Coney Barrett. We just have to sit and watch that. There's nothing we can do about it, but it's important. This is why what you do at your city and local, your state and local voting matters, because we end up having somebody that's in the Senate, that's in Congress, that's in power. It's all power. All righty. Love you too, D. And you know what? You all matter to me. Thank you so much for having your lunch and spending time with me, and indeed for having coffee with me. I want you to know that you matter to me. Connect with me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, live at lunch. Make sure you like this page. Y'all share this page, because I want to get more people engaged and involved. I'm going to start shifting gears and making sure that we're intentional about having information. And Cammie, thank you for giving me the information for Sandra Day O'Connor. I had Janet Reno on the brain. She was never Supreme Court Justice. Gummy Berry Barrett. D. And 9 million people have already voted. Another reason to the nomination series is thank you. Cammie, thank you. I'm just going to stop. I'm going to pause my closing out and say thank you. And if y'all go and look at the Electoral College, their NPR, I know, is doing, that's a resource. CNN and NPR are my 2 sources for information. Not the Supreme Court Justice. Obviously, I didn't look that up. That was off the fly. But NPR has a Electoral College map, and they're showing where it is currently. So 9 million people have already voted and shared their voice. They've already voiced their vote. That wasn't easy for me to say. So I want you to know what is easy for me to say, though, is that you matter to me. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm giving you a great big old cyber hug. For a magnificent Monday. Go out and make your mark, because you know what? Each one of us touches almost 400 people. Did you know that? Our paths, our individual paths, connect us to 400 people by several degrees of separation, but 400 people. And see y'all insulting gummy bears. Cammie, thank you. That's a good one. You got D. I love it. You had the coffee. We had the coffee. Thank y'all so much. I've enjoyed this. It's been wonderful. Even though everything we talked about, some of it was horrific. It's like a horror story. We're going to live through this. We're going to get through this together. Y'all make sure you have a vote plan. On Wednesday morning, I'm going to be live. Sweetie and I are going to be live. We're going to, I'll trek us, I'll mount so you can see us on our way. We're going to vote, and then I'll talk about how things were. Hopefully we'll have to wait in line for a little bit, although Sweetie Pie is an early bird, so we'll probably be at the voting location at like 6:45 if I know her. So I'll be live looking like I woke up like this. I woke up like this. All right. I am out. I hope you guys have a magnificent Monday. Make sure you connect with me on Wednesday for my special guest, Cheryl Piggy's Creek, with the One Sister Girl Can program. And then on Friday, we're going to talk to Corey Strong with the Electoral College. Until then, you know what I'm getting ready to say. Make every day amazing and live like it's a gift. It truly is. I'll see you on a Wednesday. In the meantime, you know what you got to do. Stay away from demons and having tea. And y'all, let's pray.